welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and it's going to be another ramble video because I am going to be talking about my beloved Little Mix. I have been meaning to do this video for so long, like I'm not even joking. It is ridiculous. So I've decided to sit down and doll myself up and film it because I want to get back into filming, because that is something that I sort of want to do as like things for the new year, but of course working gets in the way, so I get a bit busy. So I do want to try and do it when I have days off. I want to try and get back into it, and so here I am, and I'm going to film it, and I'm very excited. So if you didn't know already, then I am a huge Little Mix fan, stan, whatever you want to say. I am obsessed with them and I love them so much. If you've seen old videos, then you'll know that I used to have this wall covered in posters, but it was time to let them go, and I've started adding art now, and still need to add more, but yes. And now and again I've had like Little Mix tops on. But the fact that I haven't ever done just a dedicated video about talking about them is really weird, because I talk about everything else. I just have never got around to talking about them, and I'm like, how? Like, how dare I? I need to do it. So I'm like, right, I'm going to do it, because I finally done the list that I needed to, because I always need to structure this kind of video, because otherwise I'll just word vomit and it will go off on different tangents and it won't make sense. So I had to do that. So of course that was what was taking up some of the time, and I never got around to doing it, but I was desperate. So I was like, right girl, get on with it. And so I did, and I finally made the notes, so I'm very excited. There's also going to be timestamps in this video, so if you just want to see like a few bits, you can just click on those in the description, or like along the thing that it does when it sections them off. Yeah. So there'll be that, and yes, I hope that you are sitting comfortably and you want to ramble about Little Mix with me. So let's go. Okay, so when I say that I love Little Mix, I honestly mean it. And when I say I'm a fan, I am an OG fan. So I started loving them from The X Factor. So if you didn't know, they were on The X Factor 10 years ago. So obviously they've had their like anniversary, well, last year actually. It's like, it'll be 11 years this year. Will it actually? Or is it? No, yeah, it will, because it was 10 years. Yeah. So they won the X Factor 2011. I always remember it because it was just such a moment, and I just can't. Like, it makes me emotional thinking about it, because I was so young. I was only 10 years old, and they just became my world, my everything. I loved them, and I still love them. But like, honestly, I loved it. I loved watching the X Factor then, and I loved them just the whole way through. Of course, they all auditioned as soloists to begin with, and I loved them all individually as well. And then they got put into groups, because obviously they got like rejected, I think, which was really rude of them, because like, how dare you, they're everything. But they did. And then I know that they actually, because I'm such an OG, that I know that before they got put in Little Mix, they were in two other groups. So Jade and Leanne were in a group with some other girl, and it was called Orion or Orion. I can never remember how you pronounce it, but it was one of them. It was either that. So they were in that group, and then I think Jesy and Perry were in a group with two other girls, and I think were they called Faux Pas? Were they actually? I think they were, because I remember it. Oh my god, I'm terrible. Like, I can actually, if it's not, then oops. But I feel like it was. They were called that, and it's crazy because they were in those groups, and I was like, oh, okay, they can put them in groups, that's not too bad. Did not like the other people. Oh my god, though. Can you imagine being those people that you were put in group with, and then you were like, holy shit, I was in a group with them before they got taken out of it and put in their own group, and now they're amazing. Wow. That could have been me. That's funny. but like still, they were in those groups, but then they got rejected, which was really rude. And then they brought them together, and honestly, the minute they brought them, that moment they brought them all on stage, and the Kelly Rowland is like, they look freaking great together. I'm like, yeah, girl, they do. I was like, oh my god, I already love it, because I did love them from the beginning, and I was like, don't go, because Jade always has a soft spot in my heart because she's so cute, but now she's so hilarious, and I honestly love her. Like, she's always been my favourite. I don't like picking favourites, but Jade has always been the one that stands out to me. I love her so much. I just do. So yes, that's how I fell in love with them, because I know there's people in the fandom now, and there's mixers out there that's, you know, found them from different eras and started loving them, and I don't care. Like, if you did that, then I don't mind. Like, come and join, because we want as many as we can. But I was one of the like baby OGs when they first like did all of the X Factor, and I honestly loved it. And thinking back to that year of X Factor and when they were on it and like when they won, oh my god, it still makes me emotional. Like, I can't really listen to Cannonball anymore because I just think about that. And of course, at the moment, it's hard. But yes, I did love it a lot. I will also mention a little bit extra with that, but like the fact that they were originally called Rhythmics too, which makes me always think, like, what if they were able to keep that name? Like, we would have been like, oh yeah, Rhythmics, and it just sounds weird now. Like, I don't like it, because obviously at the time I was like, that's a sick name, like Rhythmics, hell yes. But then they had to change it, and then they call themselves Little Mix. And of course, at first I was like, oh, Little Mix, like, but honestly, I love their name. Like, I honestly love their name, and like, we're all mixers. It's everything, and it just makes me laugh that they had to do that. I felt sorry for them at first because I did like Rhythmics, but like, yeah, if you didn't know that either, then they used to be called Rhythmics before Little Mix. But yes, but like, if I briefly just can remember certain things, I mean, one thing I will say is that when they got through to the live shows, and their first performance on the live show was bloody Nicki Minaj, Super Bass, and then years later they go on and like collab with her. Wow, like, how amazing is that? And then what else did I love? I loved Don't Let Go. That is honestly my favourite performance of them on the X Factor. I think it was like week 7. Because I'm such a nerd, I know this like a lot, but I think it was week 7, and they sang Don't Let Go. What's it gonna be? Oh my god, I love it. I watch that a lot now because it was so good. I need them to do a cover. Well, it would have been great, but like, they needed to do it. Not being funny, I think they did like an a cappella cover years later, but I just needed them to do full-on cover the song and just do it again and put it on an album, because like, oh, that was a moment and a half. And Gary Barlow stating the facts that it was the best performance, yeah. And then they sang it again in the final, loved it. It was incredible. That was my favourite. Honestly loved it. Alright, so this part now that we're going to do is we're going to talk about each album / era. So we're going to go like era by era, album by album, and I'm going to just basically talk about their songs. I feel like obviously there is so much with Little Mix I could talk about, because obviously there's things where them in general, and like things that they've done, but like, I just love everything about each of them, and everything they do is iconic, and they're queens, and I live for it. But of course, the main thing about them is their music and everything, so I just kind of thought we would go era by era, album by album, and just talk about like around, I was thinking sort of around the time that it came out, and sort of my favourite things and like memories I can think of around then, and then sort of things now, because I do know that from TikTok a lot of people were doing sort of ranking. They've all been doing these ranking things of songs and all that, and albums, and I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to do that for Little Mix, so I did do it all on Little Mix. Actually, where's my phone? There it is. I need to get that up to be able to talk about that, because I've got them all on here. So I'm going to go on to that. Let's go. So of course, the very first era / album is DNA, and that's where it all began. And this was the year 2012. I'm sorry, I'm going to be like referring to this a little bit because obviously I need to remember what I wrote on here. When it first came out, I feel like they've always come out at the end of the years. It's always been sort of November time, and I remember getting the DNA album for Christmas that year, 2012, and oh my god, it was everything to me because of course I loved it when they won, and then I was like, I need the album. And it was brilliant. Not being funny, I do think that they released Wings and stuff. I think they released Wings and DNA before the actual album because they always tend to do that. So I was living for Wings, like that was honestly on repeat. My like 11-year-old self was living for it. So I loved it, and then not being funny, I feel like the DNA, I watched the DNA video and listened to the songs the first time the night or like the morning that they then performed it on X Factor when they came back. So I was happy about that because they then performed it on X Factor, and oh my god, that was a moment and a half when they came back. I honestly love it when they do that. Like when they have an actor that's won and they come back and they like show them off and do that thing. Oh my god, it was so good. Like then X Factor was so big that it was so like big and bold and dramatic and amazing. You always wanted to be on it. I mean, I was. So when they did that, I was so happy. But yeah, so going back to the album, so like my favourite songs off the bat were Stereo Soldier, How Are You Doing, and I loved DNA as well, and like I say, Wings too. But I'm weird, I seem to always like the songs that are just the album songs. I have got some that I love that are singles as well, but there are definitely lots that I tend to always gravitate to the ones that only people that get the album hear. So I do like that. So basically ones of like true mixes. But I did, oh my god, Stereo Soldier was my favourite song for ages. That honestly, I loved it. I don't want to sing because like, I sound hideous when I do that. And I didn't really want to play. That was the other thing. I was sort of thinking like, I kind of wanted to play a little bit of the song as I talk about it, but then I also didn't because I feel like I'm going to get copyrighted if I do that. But I love it. I do love Stereo Soldier a lot because I would sing it, but I just like want to, but I'm like, nah girl, because like but yeah, I loved it. Stereo. Oh, it was such a tune, and I still love it now. But like that was my favorite song. So like if you just said to me really quickly, like first thing that you think of, what's your favourite song from DNA album? Stereo Soldier, 100%. Because like that was the one I loved, and there was more obviously. It's changed a little bit now because I did do a ranking recently, and I've like, because I still listen to it, like I don't give a shit. It came out in 2012. I still, honestly though, sorry, I'm already doing it, but like I still listen to DNA all the time. I just have one long playlist of Little Mix that I've named like Little Mix Marathon on Deezer, and I just shuffle it. I just play it all the time. I love it. But honestly though, DNA was a bloody good first album for them. Like, come on, when I listen to it, I'm sometimes thinking, oh yes, this is their first album. Like, whoa, they're amazing. I loved it. The writing was brilliant. So yes, I honestly really loved it a lot. So like I said, my ranking order now of the whole album is a little bit different. So I've put it down, and I'm going to do it. So I'm going to say the names of the songs. I mean, if you are watching this, then you should be a Little Mix fan. But if you aren't, and you don't really know the songs off the album, I'm going to sort of like say them and list them, and then you know them, and then I can rank them in my order afterwards. So the album order is Wings, DNA, Change Your Life, Change My Life, Always Be Together, Stereo Soldier, Pretend It's Okay, Turn Your Face, We Are Who We Are, How Are You Doing, Red Planet, Going Nowhere, Madhouse, and then the three like deluxe songs are Love Drunk, Make You Believe, and Case Closed. Now that's actually a serious point because I didn't have, I wrote that on here, but I didn't have the deluxe album. I don't have it. Like, I have the CD that I play in my car. It's not deluxe, so it finishes at Madhouse. Because, so like, Love Drunk, Make You Believe, and Case Closed, I didn't know for a while, and I like learnt them off YouTube because I didn't have the deluxe. I get them now because I have to, but I think I didn't, the first two, so DNA and Salute, I didn't actually have deluxe versions of those. And then I was like, Mom, I need the deluxe. Like, there's more songs, give it to me. So, yeah. But my ranking order is, so my number one is Always Be Together. I honestly love that song. That I always say that is my favourite Little Mix song, hands down. Love Always Be Together, and it gives me the feels every time I listen to it. So it's like, I love it. 2, Stereo Soldier, still love it. 3, Madhouse, holy shit. Madhouse is honestly a bop. Like, I had it on the other day and I was breaking it all down. Like, it's such a tune. Oh, it's honestly brilliant. I really want to put it on, but I'm gonna get copyrighted, so I won't. I mean, I could try it, but I can guarantee I will. It's just annoying, but like, I just love Madhouse. It's underrated. It is honestly so underrated. It's one of them songs that you won't know unless you have the album, but it's brilliant. So that's my number 3. Number 4, How You Doing? Love that a lot. Change Your Life is number 5. Then we've got DNA. Wings is 7, which is probably really bad, but I love Wings, but I just like some better. 8 is Pretend It's Okay. Turn Your Face is 9. 10, Going Nowhere. 11 is Make You Believe. 12 is Love Drunk. 13 is Case Closed. I've said that 14 is Red Planet and then 15 is We Are Who We Are. No, I think I'm going to swap those around actually and say Red Planet's last because I'm not sure about that song anymore. I did used to like it a lot. Don't really like it anymore. And I feel like they don't like it either. They always mention, they're like, is there a song that you don't like? And we're all like, yeah, it's Red Planet. We know that they don't like that. Because it's a bit like, I don't know. I used to like it because I don't want to say I hate their songs. Like, I'd never want to say that. But I'm not that keen on it anymore. I do skip it if it comes on now because I'm a bit like, nah. It's not really the vibe anymore. I'm not feeling it. So I'm going to say that is the last one. And We Are Who We Are just does a bit better. Because I like that one just a little bit more. So that is that. The only other thing I will add, just before we move on to the next album, is that each album had songs that then they make into single versions. By this I mean that they obviously release the album first and you know it, but then they release a single of it. They release it as a single. I have issues with this. No, not issues, but like, I don't like it when they do this because they then change the song. And to me, I'm like, why? One, they like change it a bit. 2, most of the time they add in a stupid rapper that most of the time I don't know who they are, and I'm like, we don't need you. Like, this, it was a actual tune without you, and then you like bring them in for a rap in the middle of it, and I'm like, why? We didn't need that. You know? So like, I sort of call them like album version, single version, which were like better. Now with DNA, I feel like the only singles that they released were Wings, DNA, and How You Doing. How You Doing is an example of that. However, I have to admit that I really do like the Missy Elliott version better than the album version because they changed it a little bit. They added more words, like they added an extra like part. I don't know what that part is called in the song. It's like a bridge or something. And then they added Missy's rap, which is everything. So I do like that a little bit better than the album version. But most of the time, I prefer the original version on the album to the single that they then release afterwards. But that's just me. I don't know. Alright, so the next album is Salute, of course, and this album and era was also everything, because it was sort of a bit different. Now, this actually reminds me of what they did at like the end of the last year, where they did like an album by album thing, but they also said that it was quite more R&B-ish. Did that what they say? Because obviously the first one was quite poppy, and they sort of kept the sort of X Factor vibe, but then this one they changed their sound a little bit, and honestly I love it, and I still love it now. It's such a brilliant one, and I honestly do love this album a lot. So this one came out in 2013, yet again sort of the end of the year, so I probably got it for Christmas again. And so my favourite songs off the bat with this one were Nothing Feels Like You, which I know is Lee's favourite. Leanne loves this song. Mr. Loverboy is a tune. I love Mr. Loverboy. And then A Different Beat, I also love that too. Those were like, I've sort of given myself like 3 songs to say off the bat that I loved. So yeah, there's that. And I did love this era a lot. Now, this era and this album was the first tour that I actually went on. I've literally been to every single one since. I didn't do Wings, and I'm very Wings. I didn't do DNA, but I'm very sad about it because like I wish I could have gone to it, because I literally missed it. Like, that was the only one I've never been to. I've literally been to every other one that they've done. But going to their tour as well was so good. How old was I? I was 12 in 2013, but like, I don't know. I think it was 2014 that I went to the tour, to be honest. Yeah, it would have been, because it was released at the end of 2013. And most of their songs were in 2014. There was a bit of like so what have I put here? So Move and Little Me were released in 2013. Oh my god, though, Move. I love that music video so much. That music video is one of my favourite Little Mix music videos ever. It was so good. I still love it now, because I just loved the choreo. Was that like the first? Not really. I think How You Doing had some choreo in it. But, never mind. I was just thinking like decent choreo mix, you know, as we call it. But honestly, I loved it. I just loved the vibe, the visuals, the outfits, the makeup. I just loved all of it. And yet again, I think that was one where I listened to the song and watched the video before they did it on X Factor. And we're back with Move, and I watched the music video before I watch it. Wow. But yes, that was such a... I still love Move so much, and the music video was everything. And yeah, Little Me was also released in 2013, because they were obviously singles, so they released them before the album. And then, but they didn't actually do the title song Salute until 2014, which was funny. But still, that's a tune, and I always, every time now, after going to the tour, with Jade's bit where she's like, let me hear say, and she when she does it on tour, she's like, let me hear you, and then name of the venue. I always do that. I'm just like, let me hear, because I think that is the best part, like, having that in a song. I wonder if they wrote it knowing that they do that, or that Jade just made it a thing, because I love the fact she does that now. It's such a good song to like open the tour. I think they've said that before, but it is, and it's brilliant. Oh yeah, they also did Word Up in 2014, so like this era, for Sports Relief, which was also really good. I used to love PE in high school. I used to be like, yeah, let's go, Word Up. I used to do the dance. My friends would be like, what are you doing? But I was like, I'm doing some PE, you know, I'm doing Little Mix. And they're like, of course you are, because all you talk about is them. But like, I honestly loved that too. And they look great in their outfits. And that video was hilarious too, because they had everyone in it. So I loved that they did that as well for Sports Relief, because I feel like they performed it too, did they not, that year? So that was also really good. So let me get my phone now. Where did I put it? There it is. And we're going to go through my ranking order for this one. So, like I did before, we'll do the album first. So it goes Salute, Move, Little Me, Nothing Feels Like You, Towers, Competition, These Four Walls, About the Boy, Boy, Good Enough, Mr. Loverboy, are different beats, and then the 3 like deluxe ones are See Me Now, They Just Don't Know You, and Stand Down. So though that is the order of the album, and then my order, so based on my favourite song, so like my favourite song is Nothing Feels Like You. Love that song, and I still love that song now. It's such a bop. No matter what they say, you can't take my love away. I can't sing. I mean I can, but like I just feel under pressure. Sorry I won't do it, but still love that song. It's everything. And then my number 2 is Mr. Loverboy. Honestly love that song. You could be my lover, I could be your love. You could be my, oh, it's such a tune. I honestly love it. Number 3 is Competition, because that's dead sassy and I live for it. Number 4, Move, still love Move. 5 is Salutes, because that's a brilliant one. 6 is Towers. Oh my god, this ballad though. Oh, Perry's vocals go off queen, like that part at the end. I'm not being, shall I do this? I don't want to because I knew it will happen. But like, where is it? Because like, oh, it was so good. It actually was. This is Jesy. Perry just goes off. I try and sing back on one. Oh. Oh. Woo! Oh. I need to be heartbroken to listen to these songs, but I never have been. But like, still. Anyways, that's honestly that moment. Not being funny, I feel like now I've started loving the ballads and like the sad songs more. But then when I was a kid, I didn't really like them that much. I probably would have put like Towers and stuff last because I found them a bit boring. I liked the like pop songs or upbeat ones. But honestly, Towers is so good. So that's why it's up number 6. 7 is a different beat. 8 is About the Boy. Something about. Oh, that's a tune as well. I always do the like clapping. I love it. 9 is Good Enough. Holy shit, that is such a ballad. And not being funny, it attacked me when they played it for Jesy's documentary. Holy shit. So 10 is Little Me. Got stuff on my phone. 11 is Stand Down. Because not being funny, that song, I honestly feel like I did not know it when I went to the tour, and they started singing it, and everyone was vibing, and me and my mum was just like, we must have fell asleep under a rock during that one, because I have never heard it before, and I felt very like out of place, and I was like, oh shit, how dare I? I was like offended at myself that I didn't know it. So I was like, I don't know the song. I was like, whose song is this? And everyone else was like, yeah, get it, you know. And I didn't know it, and I was like, who? So I was like, right, where's the deluxe version? Because I'm pretty sure that is why. So, but I love it now. It's a tune. 12 is Boy, probably a bit offensive that I've done that, but it's just because it's sort of like a cappella-y song, so it's like, forget that boy. Not being funny, I do sing that a lot, because I'm always like, ain't nobody got time for that. I do that a lot. 13, They Just Don't Know You. 14, These Four Walls, because that's sort of like another ballad. And then 15 is See Me Now. But honestly, they're all so good. I don't want to see any like justice for this song, you know, because they're last. Because I don't want to put them last, but I just have to, because like I need to just do it. Because I love all of them, and I have phases where I love some more than others. But that's just what I did when I did it. And not being funny, sometimes I do forget the orders I did, so it's kind of cool going back to reading it, and I do agree with it. I'm like, yeah. But like, what songs on there did they make? I'm gonna burp. But like, I'm pretty sure, I don't actually think that they changed any songs on this one, that they, I'm like meaning like single version to them. But Salute was obviously a single, but they didn't do anything to that. Move was obviously one, Little Me was one, but then I think that's it. Yeah, it was. They only did them, and they're always like the first 3 songs on the album that they make singles. I've noticed. It's really funny. So yeah, that's Salute. So next is Get Weird, and honestly, I always say it, but I'm like, I loved it. This is my favourite. I don't know, to be honest, but Get Weird, I loved this era, and I do think that I've heard that they had a moment with this. I feel like there was a bit of a hiatus. I don't really remember it, but apparently there was, because they wrote an entire album before this and just scrapped it because they weren't feeling it. And I read that later on and was like, oh wait, what? And so they released this album a little bit later. So this was 2015. I mean, it's still like a year later, but I think it's because they didn't do one in 2014. But they had tour and stuff, and I was still living for Salute, so I wasn't really asked. But yeah, so this was released in 2015, yet again, sort of November time, so I got it for Christmas, and I just remembered, that year, my mum got me the album. She got me the deluxe, thank God, and it was signed. And I would totally bring it and show it you, but they're all in my car, and I've only just thought. But I have a signed copy of that one, because she, like, went on and did it. And actually, one of my things that I had up here was what I got in the bundle too, that was signed. So it's like, I mean, they didn't put my name on it, so they just signed it where their faces, but I loved it. I was like, oh, signed, I got autographs, and it was honestly, I lived for it. I was like, thank you so much. I was so excited. But yes, so Get Weird was such a brilliant album. My first, oh my god, hair was on repeat. I actually feel like that song came out before the album, like a leaked. It wasn't a single yet, but it was out. I remember listening to it and like jumping on the bed and dancing around to it and flicking my hair about everywhere when I listened to it. But that was before the album came out. I do remember that because I was doing it on YouTube. But oh my god, yeah, Hair, I loved Hair. Like, that was my favourite song for ages on that album. It was a bop. It was honestly brilliant. And then, what other ones did I like? Black Magic, yes, that was a tune. And I Won't as well. So that was the only one that was like a album song, and I really loved that too. And as soon as I listened to it, I was like, this is giving me Jess Glynne vibes. And then I heard that they wrote the album with her, and I was like, that makes sense, because I Won't was very Jess Glynne. Like, it just sounded like her. It had her sound. So yeah, but I do love that. I still love these songs now, and it's just crazy. But like, these were sort of my favourites when I first listened to it. When I first, like, oh god, I sometimes wish that I could go back to listening to them for the first time, because like, doing that is a moment, and I love it. It's just like a feeling when you love them so much, and then you're listening to these songs that they write, and you can't wait because you know you're gonna love them. Honestly, I loved it, and yeah, they were brilliant. Oh yes, here, I wrote it. First deluxe and signed copy. Yes, my mum did that. She was great. I didn't really wrote much here, but I'm trying to remember like memories. Yet again, I went to the tour, of course I did, and that one was brilliant because we were right near the front. Like, we actually were. My mum was hilarious. She just buys the tickets. She's just like, yeah, bought it, we're going. And then I'm pretty sure we get there and we're on the floor. They've like done where you stand, the standing area, but they've done seats, and we were like, holy shit, because we normally up in the rafters also. So honestly, every time we've been to see Little Mix, our seats have been incredible. But that year was so good because we went down onto the floor, and then we sat a bit further back, and then we were like, are we in the right place? And we ended up realising we weren't, so we had to move. And the girl took us even further. We were like, we're going even more to the front. It was amazing. It actually was. I don't think I have any more videos, and I probably wouldn't put them on here because my singing is hideous. Because you're like screaming it as you're there. But like, it was so good. I didn't even have to zoom in that much because they were just stood there, and I was like, it was amazing. And did they sing anything on X Factor? Yeah, they did. I think they went back to do Black Magic. Did they do Love Me Like You as well? They did, because they did a sort of performance with that. Not being funny, I cannot find that anymore on YouTube, and it makes me sad because I always want to watch it because it was brilliant, but I can't see it anymore. It's really rude. So the album order for this one, and obviously my ranking order and favourites. So the order is Black Magic, Love Me Like You, Weird People, Secret Love Song, Hair, Grown, I Love You, OMG, Lightning, Adidas, or Adidas, how you say it, Love Me or Leave Me, The End, I Won't, Secret Love Song Part 2, Clued Up, and The Beginning. And that's that. Yuck. So that is the album order, and then we're going to do my order. So of course I've still said that number 1 is Hair, because I love that song on that album. It's honestly my favourite song, because I always say that your favourite song is the one that, like, you know that it's about to begin, you get all giddy, you're like, oh, it's gonna come on, I love this song. Like, that still gives me that with Hair, so definitely love that. Number 2 is Weird People. That is a brilliant song, and that just gives me the weird vibes. I also love that they call it Get Weird and, like, Weird People. I thought it was brilliant because you know, they are weird and I'm weird, and they made me feel good about being weird. I just thought it was good. Like, I am gonna embrace the fact that I'm weird and we're all weird people. Loved it. Number 3 is Lightning. Honestly, Lightning is a tune, and I quite like the beaty, like, dance break songs. I always imagine like a like brilliant dance routine to that. That I do remember though at the tour, shitting myself at the lightning that they did. Like, they made it all quiet and then with lightning I was like, ah! Honestly, I always remember that, and I was filming it too. I was fucking shocked as as it happened, but like, and they performed it. That was so good. Number 4 is Grown. That's a tune. Also love that song, and it keeps wobbling. 5 is Black Magic. I feel like everyone loves that song. 2015, I always remember Black Magic by Little Mix being a big song. Like, it was always on the radio, and it was always, I think they got number 1 for that, did they not? Oh, they totally did, because it was a tune. It honestly was. Then, now I've put number 6 is Secret Love Song, but then number 7 is Secret Love Song Part 2. But only, all that means is that Secret Love Song is with Jason Derulo, and then number 2, or like Part 2, is without him, and that, like, the full song. So in a way, they've technically blessed me with both versions, because I'm guessing that they would have said, like, Secret Love Song being the Part 2, and then they would have done the single version with Jason Derulo, and I wouldn't have liked it. But they give me both, so I sort of loved it. It's just hard because I've sort of said the one with Jason Derulo I like a bit more, because I do. And then Part 2 is just them. But they tend to sing that more on tour, and I love that because it's just them and it's really cute. Oh my god, though, I'm not going to lie. I might tell you about that in a bit, but there was a time that they sang it, and it was honestly a moment and a half. I loved it. So number 8 is I Won't. Still love that song, it's brilliant. 9 is Clued Up. Now, I wanted to learn that on the guitar so much. Like, I used to do the guitar, and then I gave up, and I've not done it anymore. But I did, and at the time, I still wish I'd done it, because that song, I just, like, air guitar. Like, I pretend I'm playing the guitar to it, because it's just like I just love it. It's such a cute little song, and I wish I would have done it on the guitar, because then I could just, like, strummed to it and it would have been brilliant. Number 10 is I Love You, which I know is that actually Leanne's favourite song? I think it is. Leanne loves the song I Love You. Number 11 is Adidas, which was like the first, like, sexy song, like, talking about interesting stuff. All day I dream about with you. Oh yes, I was like, oh, I liked it. So I was like, because there's parts in it, like, I'm like, steady on, what are you saying? So that's 11. 12 is Love Me or Leave Me, ballad and a half. Loved about that now and again, it's brilliant. Number 13 is Love Me Like You. And then 14 and 15, they're like the end and the beginning, because they're just kind of those in between songs. But I quite liked the adding them, because obviously the end is a like deluxe song, and so it ends, if you don't have the deluxe, it ends with the song at the end, and then there's a few extra songs and then the beginning, which I kind of like. But they were really good songs as well, but I just put them at the end because they're not really songs, but they are. So there's that. But yes, I love those songs a lot. But I just have to say, like, Hair and Weird People and Lightning, like, oh, Lightning is such a tune. It is, and that's underrated as well. I just feel like all the ones I like are so underrated and no one talks about them, and I'm like, why? Because you should. Because they're everything. Okay, we're on to Glory Days. I love this album so fucking much. It is my favourite. I can say that, because it is. Hands down, Glory Days I love so much. And I have heard them say this a lot, but they actually agree that it is their time of their life. It was the Glory Days, and I'm like, that is so cute. Honestly, every song on that album is a bop. Ranking that was so difficult because I love all of them. But I did it, and still. But honestly, this era, when they did this, it was so good. So the first time they did anything was when they came back and they did Shout Out to My Ex on The X Factor. That honestly blew me away. I was like, queens, because they looked so good. And of course, they were slagged off about that, but I was like, I don't shit, they look great. They actually do. And I still love that performance. I go back and watch it now and again, because that was the first time I heard Shout Out to My Ex. I watched that and then downloaded the track and had it on repeat for ages. Honestly though, it was so good. It actually was. I loved it. I love it. But yeah, so this was 2016. I literally remember it like it was yesterday, this coming out, because it was just so good when they released the, like, oh, what it's going to be, you know, we're calling it Glory Days. And it was funny though, because obviously they started naming albums of not songs that weren't names of songs, you know what I mean? They've done like three of that, and I was like, oh, okay, but I didn't mind it. It was just, honestly, I loved it. So I've had the deluxe version, and my favourite songs off the bat were No More Sad Songs, Power, You Got or Not. They were honestly everything. I mean, they still are. But yeah, I feel like I remember You Got or Not got released a little bit before it came out. They started doing that. Like, literally, they were all like so many days, and then they would release a song before the album. And I was like, okay, but I'm pretty sure You Got or Not was released a little bit before, and I loved that. And I think it was a Meghan Trainor song. I think she wrote it and then gave it to them. I don't care though, because it's everything. I always remember though a Vine or a TikTok, or it wasn't a TikTok because it wasn't out then, but it was sort of like that, of Leanne jamming out to it in her car. You Got or Not, like, and she had a dog with her. Can't remember which one. Was it Harvey? Probably. And honestly, I just always remember that. I do. Like, I just think, oh my god, like, I can see that. As I think of You Got or Not, I can see that, and it's crazy. But I loved that song a lot, like, off the bat. Like I say, No More Sad Songs was instantly my favourite the minute I listened to it on the album. Like, when you first listen to it, I was like, oh my god, I love this song. Like, the beat, or like, not the beat, but like the tune, the sound, was everything. And I couldn't get enough of it. I loved it. Obviously Power as well was so good. Like, the fact that we went a time without having that song, I don't know, because it's such a, like, powerful song now. Like, honestly, I feel like it's everywhere. It's such like a power anthem, like a girl power anthem, and it's strong and amazing. But I just don't know how I went a time without that song, because it's a tune. It actually is. It's constantly coming on when I shuffle it. Like, I never go a time without listening to Power, because it's just brilliant. What else have I said about this? Oh yes. So with Glory Days, they obviously released the Glory Days Deluxe. I got the Deluxe in 2016, but then they did a Platinum Edition, which I also love, and I'm not being funny, but those 3 songs, like, because what they did was they did a Platinum Edition, and they did some, like, because, yeah, again, they did, like, single versions of some of the songs, and so they sort of added them onto it, and then they did new songs as well. Because I'm pretty sure that was the time that they did Reggaeton Lento. Is that how I say it? Oh, Reggaeton Lento. They did that with CNCO as well that year, which was everything as well. So that was brilliant as well. And so they added that to the Platinum. And not being funny, ever since they did that, I only really listen to that album now, because I just like the 3 new songs that they did. But please, that's those 3 songs are the most underrated song ever. Dear Lover is such a tune. I love that song so much. And the fact that, like, it's not even got recognition that it deserves is rude as fuck. Because I danced that song. I wish they would have done, like, a great, like, powerful choreography video for that as well. What else? Oh yeah, three new songs, Reggaeton Lento, and single versions of some songs. Yes, because they did do that a lot in this. So, like, what did we have? So, like, No More Sad Songs, like I said before, where they had the versions and then they changed them. They did this a lot in the Glory Days album, and I was like, do you have to? So they were like, yeah, we're going to bring No More Sad Songs out, and they did it with Machine Gun Kelly. Not being funny, I do love it now, like, I do, and I know the rap off by heart, like, I sing it all the time, and I just have to like it because I'm like, yeah, right. But when they announced that it was happening, I was like, why? Like, why can you not just release the song as it is on the album? I don't know. But it still was great. And the one thing I will say is, I don't know if any of you get this, but I can tell a difference with the tune sound of the, like, original album version and the single version. I prefer the album version, like, more. But then there is, like, they do add more music behind Jesy's verse in the single. Shall we do it? Original version. I still want to do the no more, even though, yeah, thanks for that. But, like, oh, it's such a tune. And that cover though, I remember that. Oh yes. Woo! Such a tune. Hold on. Here we go. So Jesy's verse had more music put to it. So this is her verse. It's quieter, and then now it's like dun 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 dun. Right, hold on. Dun. Yeah, you can hear the difference. They change it, but, like, I don't mind with this one. But yes, I just worry that they're gonna really change it. I'm like, why do you do that? Because I already like the song, you know, and then you to do that. That bit. It doesn't sound the same, but I don't think we can hear it like I can hear it, but it doesn't sound the same, okay? There's, like, more a bit in the back on the other one. Hold on. Let me... Okay. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Or is it just me? I don't know. But, like, I like both versions of that. But I still love that part of the original a lot. That was probably, like, okay. But, like, I can hear the difference. But of course I can. But, like, I do go between them to, like, work out what I like. Because I don't know. And then what else did they do that with? Power, of course, they did. They had Stormzy on it, and I was like, why? Like, why? I'm not being funny at the time. I really was like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't want it. I just want you to release the song as it is because it's great. Not being funny though, his rap is everything, and it's like girl power for the win, and I stan. And the video was also amazing. And the mummy mixes, that was brilliant. But yes, I don't think they change much with that song. No, they don't. So with that one, it's funny because the minute it starts playing, I can tell if it's the album version or the single version, because they have like the rapper say something, you know, he was like, no more, no more. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's that one. But with this one, there's nothing until that part of his rap. And so I'm like, which one is it? So there's that. But I do like it as well, when I sing the actual original version to people that don't know it, because they're like, hold on, what's that bit? And I'm like, the bit that you didn't know, because they changed it when they released it, and it's a bit rude. But yes, they did that. And then what else was there that they released? Because what were the actual... Because Shout Out to My Ex was the song, but yeah, like I say, they released that before the album, so it stayed like that. Touch, okay, Touch is an actual tune. I love the song Touch so much. I have issues with the video. I don't like that music video at all. Okay, I'm really sorry. I don't want to say I hate it, but I do. I'm like, what is it? I'm one of them that does not like the Call Sit on Perry. I'm like, what were you thinking, girl? And she's always like, I've heard enough, but I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I agree, because I just don't know what it was. And they're like, I liked it, it was great, it looked great. And I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, at the minute I saw it, I was like, what is that? What are you doing? I just wasn't keen. I didn't like the gyrating around on the floor either. I was just like, I'm not feeling this video at all. The song still is an actual tune. I love the song a lot. I'm just not sure about the video. But yeah, I feel like that was the only like singles they did, because they did do a version of Touch with Kid Ink that is on the Platinum edition, but you don't really hear that much, but obviously you do if you have the Platinum. So, because they didn't release that version, so I kind of like that. So we're going to get on to the ranking order, of course, and like I say, I'm going to do it as of the Platinum version, because that's what I listen to the most. So we're going to do, I'll just say them as, hold on, have I not? Yeah, I've done it. So, number 1 for the album, so how it goes on the album is Shout Out to My Ex, Touch, Reggaeton Lento, FU, Power, No More Sad Songs, Oops, You Got a Knot, Down and Dirty, Your Love, Nobody Like You, Private Show, Nothing Else Matters, If I Get My Way, Is Your Love Enough, Dear Lover, Beep Beep, and Freak. So that was such a mix-up of the original order, because everything was like, hey, I don't know why they did that, because they had their own order and then they just throw the new version of it, because obviously they added Touch as not Touch, they added Reggaeton Lento as number 3, and then they put Power and No More Sad Songs together as the single versions, because then they did do the original version underneath after that, and I was like, why? Why have you done that? I didn't care though. And obviously then they added in the 3 new songs, which were If I Get My Way, Is Your Love Enough, and Dear Lover. And I love all 3. All 3 of them need more recognition because they're everything. Dear Lover, especially. But yeah, my order for the album is No More Sad Songs, Power, Freak. Okay. Can we just talk about Freak for a minute? Freak needs its moment, because that song is everything, and it is so underrated. I don't understand. When I listen to that song, I'm like, holy shit. They wrote this, and this is everything. It's such a good song. I can't get over it. And I'm like, oh my god, I always imagine such a badass video for it as well. In black, and I can just imagine, oh Honestly, it's brilliant. I want to put that on as well. I just know that it's gonna cause some shit with this video, but it's a tune. Oh, it already starts amazing, and I'm like, don't do it. But like, what's the main bits that I love? I just love it. Her voice in this. Ah! It's such a gritty song. Oh yeah. It's one of them where like you can just but you can like blare it out when you're pissed off. I stand it so much. This bit. Playing games no more. So this should have been a single. Actually, should have been. And a music video. Woo! I would have lived for it. Stop it, Jade. Woo! Their voices in this, their vocals. Woo! They were proper like growling. They were like screaming it. I loved it. Ah! Such a good song. And I hate that it's so underrated. Woo! Woo! And the sax. It's such a good song, and I don't know why, but I can't with that part, but I can just imagine like what I picture for a video for that song is like they're in an asylum. I know it sounds a bit weird, but like they're a bit, you know, mad because they're a freak, you know, like it's called Freak, so I imagine that they've been put in an asylum because their boyfriend thinks they've gone crazy, but that's because they do fuck all. And so they're like doing this shit, and then when it's like I've got two sides to me. The one, what is it? I got this. The one you want your mother to meet, and the one that's a freak. So like that, when it says the mother to meet, you like they're all sweet in this cute outfit, like the little cake, and then next to me it's like freak, and they're in this straight jacket with like their eyes like. How amazing is that? And then the bits where that part I just did at the end, where it was like revs up and there's like they like, it's where they all just like turn all badass, and they've got like a blown up car behind them, his car, and they've just got like bats on their shoulders, and they're doing like this badass walk. Stop. I've thought about this way too much, but like it needed to happen. It actually did. I would have actually had that on repeat, like the video, if they'd done that. I do have it on repeat, but if they released it, woo! I feel like this needs to be heard by more people other than the mixers, because like it's a tune. Okay, what's next? I knew I would be talking about that for ages because it's everything. Beep Beep is the same. I love Beep Beep as well, and like I said about Adidas, where it was kind of like a sexy song. We talk about sex. They do that in this one as well. I mean, I wanna fuck you tonight. Yeah, girl. Yeah, I do. I'm like, oh, it's a love, making love to you. Oh, God. It's everything. And I've imagined a music video for this as well. I'm terrible. Don't judge me. But I have. So, like, they're in traffic, in cars. And, I just can't. It's a tune. Like, I remember not really liking it that much when it first came out. I was like, right, Beep Beep, but honestly now, it's one of my favourite songs off the album. I fucking love it. Really love it a lot. And yet again, they sound everything. Number 5, Dear Lover. Like I said, that, you know what, should we play a bit of that as well? I didn't really want to play many of the songs because I felt like I was gonna, but like, the minute I heard this, I'm like, oh my god, it's a dance tune, I stand it. I can't remember who wrote this though. Let's skip it. Saving your heart this time. I'm living my best life right now. But this dance part, it's like beat. Why? This needed to be a video as well. Yes! Loved it as well. So much. So that's that one. And then what's next? Private Show. That is a tune also. Yeah, again, this was getting into like the sexy stuff. Like they were singing about sex a lot and like boys and flirting and being a bit sexy, but I kind of liked it. I was like, okay, get it. So like Private Show was the same, you know, like yeah, loved that as well. 7 is Shout Out to My Ex, because that's also such an anthem, like it actually is. Number 8 is Nothing Else Matters. Oh, that one warms my heart. I've got a soft spot for that song because it's cute. You know, it's like it's not really about sex or boys. It's about them, I feel like. You know, nothing else matters like us. Yes! I love that a lot. For some reason, it makes me think of autumn and fall. I don't know why, but it does. 9 is Touch. 10, If I Get My Way. 11 is Down and Dirty. That's a brilliant one as well. Get Down and Dirty. Love that. 12, Nobody Like You. Yeah, again, another ballad, but it's a brilliant one. 13 is Your Love. Your love makes me feel like. Love that as well. 14 is Your Love Enough. That is a very sexy song. Like, I was like, okay. 15, You Got a Knot, which is really funny because, like, that's like 15 now. That's like near the end. And I loved that song to begin with when I first listened to the album. But now it's near the end, but whatever. 16 is FU. And I have to say about that song, because you know this new song by Gayle, ABCDEFU? That's a tune, I love that. But it just reminds me of Little Mix's FU, because that's what theirs goes like, you know? They're like, ABCDEEFU. And it's like, okay, don't steal their song. I mean, hers is a lot different to theirs, but still, she had the same idea. So that made me laugh. 17 is Oops. And 18 is Reggaeton Lento. I don't know why I put it at the bottom, but I loved it when it first came out, and it was a vibe, and it was very Spanishy, and like I was living for it. But then it's just not one of my favourite songs. Like, it's not one that I like, and I love when it comes on. I'm just like, okay. And most of the time I do skip that, and it's probably a bit sad. And then Oops is an interesting song because I also know that they hate that. I mean, they don't hate it, but they dislike it, and they're not keen on it anymore. But like, so I'm a bit the same. But we all know why, and if you don't, I'm not telling you. Okay, so we're still going, so I'm really sorry, but this is going to be a long video, so like maybe pause it and get some another drink and some snacks and stuff, because we're still going. But the next one is LM5, which came out in 2018, and oh god, I remember this so well, because this was the year that I was going to college, and I had to get the bus because I would go a bit further away, and I'm not doing locations, but like I had to get the bus to where my college was, and it was a bit of a journey, and I get serious travel sickness, so I was like, oh. And then but yeah, I just remember being on the bus and then teasing it, because I know Woman Like Me came out first with Nicki Minaj. That song is brilliant. Not sure about it at the moment, but I still love it. It's a tune, and yeah, I listened to that a lot on the bus. So like memories from this, I always remember like going to college and going on the bus, and then I did pass my driving test, so I had it in the car as well. So then first like driving to college as well, I listened to it a lot. So whenever it's one of them where like when you listen to the song, you instantly get transported to the time that you listen to it a lot, and that's that for me, which is going to college. So I love that. And so what were some of my favourite songs? Off the bat, Forget You Not, love it. Woman's World, also, and that is a fucking girl power, like, badass anthem, isn't it? Love that. And More Than Words, I also loved that song as well, from like straight off the bat. It was everything. And yeah, I just remember it coming out. I remember all over Twitter they did those little teasers of each song as well, and I was like, oh my god, don't, because they were all like everything. And something else I will say that I also remember, like before they released the album, was that Perry uploaded a video of Alex like dancing to Forget You Not in this car, and he was like bada bang bang, and every time I listen to it now I do the like bada bang bang because on it, and I could not wait then after that little teaser of that. I was like, oh my god, you need to listen to that song because it sounds great. Yes, because it is my favourite song now. So there's that. In terms of like singles to album, or like album to single, there is one. So like what? So there's the National. No, that didn't. No, the first one is Woman Like Me. That's it. That's the first, like, that was a single that they did. They actually performed that on X Factor, and I love that performance as well. Because that's with Nicki Minaj, and I love the video for that as well. And I'm pretty sure Jessica Lynn wrote that. Did she not? Yeah, she wrote it, and I actually heard her version because she demoed it, but then give it to them. And I'm grateful for that because I love them singing it. Did they not sing that? They totally sung that on the, is it the EMAs? With Nicki in America. That was a moment, it actually was. It was brilliant. And yes, you know what I didn't mention actually during the Glory Days one, but their Brit, when they first won the Brit Award for the Shout Out to My Ex, queens, like actual queens, and like performing on the Brits as well, that was everything too. It actually was. Loved that so much. And you know what else I didn't say? Bloody hell. But going to that tour, it was also everything, because where we sat, we were like, oh, this is decent, but like we were a bit well away from the stage. And the next minute, they bring this thing down from the roof, and they're literally stood in front of me, and I'm like, it was so good. I was screaming, I was crying, I was throwing up, I was fainting. It was all happening. So like, I just had to mention that because it just came into my head then. But going back to Helen Vibe and all of that, like honestly, it was great. Because like that was the last tour I went on, because we haven't done Confetti yet. I'm going to it though, I'm very excited. But yeah, it was so good. I think they performed again. Did they do Woman's Like Me? Why did I say Woman's? Woman Like Me, they sung that again at the Brits that year, or in that bloody hot pink outfit. Bloody hell, looked great during that. I don't know who that chick was that they sang with. I was like, okay, what's this about? Because I don't know why we need you, but whatever. And then they won again. What did they win for? Did they win for the music video again? I think they did. I can't remember. But they won again, and I'm like, actual queens. They deserve more, they actually do, but alright. So I'm trying to remember what year they did The Search, because they did that show, didn't they, The Search? I feel like that was it 2019? No, it was 2020, wasn't it? Because yeah, it was like COVID, it was still around. Yeah, I think it was actually. Anyways, we'll go into my ranking order for this album. So of course we'll say what the album is to start with, which is the national anthem, which is hilarious. Woman Like Me, Think About Us, Strip, Monster in Me, Joan of Arc, Love a Girl Right, American Boy, Told You So, Wasabi, More Than Words, Motivate, Notice, The Cure, Forget You Not, Woman's World, The Cure, Stripped, and then Only You. So that's the order of the album. And then my ranking order is Forget You Not. Oh my god, that is a song that whenever it starts to play, I'm like, oh, I love it, it's my favorite song. In the club, boy, I'll forget you not. It is such a like club song. It's like, it's a party song, I love it. And number 2 is Woman's World. Number 3 is More Than Words. Honestly, that was my sort of my favourite when I first listened to it. And it's got Camille in it, and I love that because she writes with them. Like, half of these songs she's wrote as well, and I'm like, I'm not for Queen. She was, around then, she was like their 5th member, and I lived for it. So she actually sang this song with them, and I loved it. 4, I've said, is Woman Like Me, because I do love it, nonetheless. 5 is Wasabi. Yes. Jade, Come Through Queen, because she wrote that, and it was brilliant. I think Jade wrote Woman's World too. Makes sense, doesn't it? Number 6, I've said is Motivates, because that's like that is a tune, like that gets you going. 7 is The Cure. I love that song. It's like, that gives me the feels as well. There is some that give me the feels, and I love it. 8 is Love a Girl Right, which I have to say we all like because it gave us Mr. Loverboy vibes. Did it not? I feel like it did, because at the beginning, like, you know, it has the same tune, and then you're like, oh, which one is it? So it did the same thing. 9 is Notice, which is hilarious because that's definitely about sex. Like, so when my niece wants to listen to it, I'm like, not that song, because like, yeah. But I mean, they say sex in the song, so like, yep. I love that, because you could tell that they were starting to get more mature and they were growing up a little bit with their songs. Where the fuck message you gone? But they were writing more about like that. I mean, they started doing that in Get Weird a little bit, but they did a lot of it in this one as well. So it shows you. Hold on. Number 10 is Joan of Arc, which I actually, now when I think about it, I remember the little like snippet that they did of them all in the car, and they were like, what how did it go again? It was like, I don't need a man, and they were all like, you're having you because I can. And they were all like, in the car. I remember it. Jade was in the back like, oh god, they're such queens. I did love that. That was brilliant. And it was, I'm not being funny, we were robbed of Joan of Arc because they did a video for it, and then they did their like label or something, like not let them do it, or rude as fuck. But like, I feel like there was some issue with it, or like they couldn't release it in the end, and I was like, what? That is offensive, because I have seen bits of it, and I'm like, huh, that's really rude, because we deserved it. 11 is Only You, that they did with Cheat Codes, is it? That was a summer anthem that year. Like, that summer, I was like, Only You, only, like, it was one of them that made you think of summer. 12 is American Boy. 13 is Think About Us. 14 is The Cure, Stripped. 15 is Monster in Me. 16, Told You So. 17 is the National Anthem, and then 18 is Strip, which don't come for me, don't at me that I've put Strip last, but I love it. But there's just something about that song that I'm just like, yeah, it's not one that makes me all excited and giddy. They all, when they were doing it, they said like, oh my god, you'll love Strip, like it's a tune, and I do love it, but it's just not, it just doesn't get me going, and I don't know why. It's such an empowering song for girls, because it was the campaign where they did the naked shoot, the photo shoot, and honestly, I love that picture so much. It's so brilliant and empowering and amazing and iconic. They are everything. And the video for it is also brilliant. I do love that as well. And they have that girl in it. I don't know, I can't remember her name. But they have her in it too. I don't know. I like it. I do. It's just a bit like a song, so it's hard. But don't come for me, because I do love it. I don't know what to put last. I'm not being funny, but National Anthem makes me pissed, because every time it comes on, I always have to do this. We the bad bitch made up, and I'm just like stood there the whole time, like, the National Anthem is on. Don't ask me, I'm weird. Next is Confetti. Oh my god, so we're getting to like the new stuff, like the recent things. So this came out 2020. I remember this a lot because obviously we were in lockdown, and I do remember it coming out because I got so excited. I full on like decked out. I put my t-shirt on. I had I put some like glitter in my eyes. I had like glittery nails on. I was all ready for it because I was so excited. Yet again with this, they did like teasers, or like they started releasing, so I'm not being funny, but like all the way up to, I think it was Not a Pop Song, they'd release, like I knew all of them songs, like so for the first half of the album I already knew when I was listening to it, because they'd released it a little bit before, and it made me laugh. Because obviously Breakup Song, oh my god, I remember that. So we were in March, it was March, as we'd just gone into lockdown, and then they released Breakup Song, and so it was all like all we did over TikTok and stuff, all like lockdown, and it was all on the radio, and so that's what it reminds me of this one, because we were during COVID and lockdown, so I remember listening to it for the first time, and I just lived for it. I was jamming out, and it was brilliant. So they did that, and then what else? What's the next song? Breakup song. Oh, Holiday. Whoa, that was a moment when they released that. I think we were out of lockdown, and I remember being at the caravan, actually. We were at the caravan, and I had that on. It fits. I remember the teaser for Holiday too. We were all excited because they did the whole like dun 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 dun. Oh my god, and the mermaids. That was a look and a half. Like, I loved that when they did the mermaid tails. Brilliant. And yeah, I remember being at the caravan listening to Holiday. That was amazing. But like Sweet Melody, holy shit. When that came out, I was honestly sat there like, when I was listening to it for the first time, I was like, this is not a Little Mix song. This is everything. Like, what is this? Like, honestly, I'm not being funny. When I first watched the video, I actually cried to that, because I was just so overwhelmed with like happiness and like, like, it's so good that I got a bit teary, and I was like, I'm crying, because I honestly love that video a lot. Sweet Melody's video, I had on repeat all the time, because that bit with the change in direction, and they all looked, Jade, come through, sis, with that outfit. She looked so good. Like, she actually did, and all the people recreating it, I was like, don't blame you. I totally would have done if I had the body for it, but I don't. So I'm like, nah. But honestly, I love that video a lot. It was brilliant. But yes, the first songs, like my favourite songs off the bat, so when I first like listened to the album, but like saying these, so I've said Happiness. Oh my god, I loved Happiness a lot. Sweet Melody, obviously, and then Confetti as well. I loved Confetti, but like I said, they released most of the songs, like they kept releasing them Friday before the album came out. It was really funny. Like, they were like, oh, this Friday it's not a pop song, this Friday it's Happiness, and then now it's Sweet Melody, and I was like, okay, and then they were like, here's Confetti. I feel like they could give us Confetti like days before the album, and I was like, what is going on? I mean, I don't blame you. I'm not angry about it. I like it, but still, I was like, okay, you're just gonna give me the album in stages? Like, what are you doing? So I was like, right, but yes, it was brilliant. So yeah, Happiness, I really liked a lot. So yeah, again, I just couldn't get over it. Every era and every new album and like first song and their voices, I just can't. And most of the time I'm laying in bloody bed at midnight with my headphones on, like listening to it for the first time. I'm like, oh, let's do it. And I like press play, and I'm like, oh my god, like I can't do it. But like the like oohs that they did, literally, it just made me tingle all over it. Not like that, but like my skin was like, oh, it's just like, God, I love it. So I loved Happiness for a while, but then obviously when Sweet Melody came out, that was my favourite. Like, I loved it. Sweet Melody, oh my god, it was brilliant. Like, like the beat, and then Confetti as well. And I love the fact they called it Confetti. I really do. I love the fact that Nick had a song called Confetti, and I love the fact that the album was called Confetti. It was so good. And I didn't actually go into the fact that they called, the LM5 when I was talking about that. I didn't say like they called it that, because we always called that album, like we just called it LM5 for ages, and then they actually decided to call it LM5, and I was laughing. I was like, oh my god, that's quite funny that they've ended up calling it, because it's just Little Mix number 5, like Little Mix album number 5, but they ended up calling it that. But now it's stuck, like now it feels right, and it's weird. But yeah, also I'm jumping back to LM5 a little bit, but I was gonna say that there was a moment about Secret Love Song on tour. Oh my god, so they sang, so when I went, before they sang Secret Love Song, okay, they had these guys come out and go in front, like they had gone on this thing, because for that tour I was at the front, but like on the side. I was row A, but at the side, so I was right at the front. I could see it so good. I honestly, those seats were everything. But I think my mum got VIP, come through, mother. But like, it was everything. And we were sat at the front and I was living mother's life. And they then got on this thing and like floated. So if you've seen it, they looked great in those outfits. But then they did it. And then they were about to sing Secret Love Song, like I say, but they got these two guys out and they brought them to like the front of where they were stood so like they could talk to them. So we were like sort of looking the other way. But then so they were gays, and we all know how I feel about gays. I have a soft spot. I fucking love gays so much, and I know they do, because they obviously, Secret Love Song is like, I feel like that's now the anthem of Pride. I don't know, it might not be, but it really like resonates, is that the word, with the LGBTQA plus community, and the fact that they how they organised it, I don't know. They obviously like spoke to people like the management and then talked to Little Mix and were like, I wouldn't want to propose, can I do that? Oh my god, it was so cute. It actually was. And I still have the video actually on my thing, but I'm not doing it because I screamed. And it's like, but oh god, it was a moment and a half that he got down on his knee, and everyone was crying. We were all like, oh god, and they were crying, and they were like, holy shit, that's so cute, because I knew, I could sense it. They were like, I can't remember how it happened, but they were like, oh, we want to get these guys out, and I don't know, I think she was like, right, we're going to sing Secret Love Song. I'm going to pick somebody from the audience. But like, I knew exactly what I was doing. But anyways, they did that, and he was all mushy-gushy, and they got engaged, and it was like, I was like, don't throw gayness in my face, like, in real life. Like, I can see you. Because normally I just see it on a screen, because I watch it, like, characters. But it was actually happening in front of me. I was like, God! So that happened, lived for it, and we were all crying, and then they had to sing Blue Secret Love Song, and Jade was gone. Like, she couldn't sing her verse at all, and I was like, bloody hell. She started singing it again, you hold, no, that's not her verse, is it? What did she sing? We keep behind closed doors, something like that, and she was like, she sang like a tiny bit of it, and then she was like, I'm absolutely gone, and started crying, and Perry was like, oh shit girl, and then we were all just like, right, and then we started singing it, and Jesy was like, yep, keep going. Honestly, we all couldn't sing it, but then it got going and they did sing it and then floated back on my wall. It was just so cute, and then I'm pretty sure they like dropped pride coloured confetti, and I was like, I am in heaven, like this is a moment I live for it. Oh, I need some gay friends, I actually do. I want a gay bestie. If you're gay, can we be friends? Because I want it. I really do. Can you take me to Pride? Because like, I feel like I can't go because I'm not in that. But I want to go because I love the gays so much. But yeah. Anyways, back to confetti. But like, I had to talk about it because I was going to say it and then I forgot. So I had to, because it was so cute. But yes, what have I said? I've done obviously like to say my ranking order. And then I've also put like the tour getting postponed. And I do think that they did. When did they do The Search? Was it 2020? I think it was. But obviously it didn't come out till November 2020. So I'm pretty sure that was like before it. Well, they filmed it in like... but like that was everything. I loved that show. And since September... Honestly, I wanted them to win so badly because they were everything. And they're gonna bloody... Oh, I can't wait for that. They're doing the thing, aren't they? They're... What are they doing? They're guest, like, opening for them. Wow, I'm so excited to see that. Because I loved them a lot and it was brilliant. But of course, around that time was when poor Jesy was getting a bit interesting, and then she announced that she was leaving. Honestly, I don't know where to go with this because I didn't want to go in depth because there's been so much talk about it that I'm like, nah. But I have to say I was heartbroken because I love her. Like, she's been a part of my life for all these, like, how many years, and then she's leaving. So I'm like, I'm obviously going to be sad. My nose is dripping again. Hold on. So yeah, I did cry a lot when that post went up, but I don't know. I'm not really going into detail. But yeah, she ended up leaving. She left. And I was a bit just like, oh, because like, their album had only just come out, you know, Confetti had only just come out, and then she announced that she was leaving, and then they didn't really do much press with, like, because, you know, sorry. But you know, it was then just the three of them, and I feel like it was the three of them for a little bit before they actually announced it, because they did a few performances on the Search with just the three of them, and then they did others, and everyone was like, oh yeah, she's gonna leave, like, we can tell. But they were just saying she's having a break, but yeah, we knew it was going to happen, and then they confirmed it, and I was sad. Like, I had to be sad. Jesy was such a queen, and she's got such a good voice, and I still love her a lot. I mean, this picture still has her in it, that I got. I ordered it as, like, art, because is that as a picture that they had done for the Search? I feel like it is. And I don't care that I still have it, because please, like, I still love her a lot. So I'm not going into I'm not going into more of that. But yes, that still happened, and I was heartbroken. But we're moving on. Now we'll talk about my ranking order of the album. So of course the album order is Breakup Song, Holiday, Sweet Melody, Confetti, Happiness, Not a Pop Song, Nothing But My Feelings, Gloves Up, A Mess, in brackets, Happy For You, My Love Won't Let You Down, Rendezvous, and, If You Want My Love, and Breathe. So this one was a bit of a shorter album, but we didn't care, like, I still loved it. And so my ranking order is, my favourite is A Mess, Happy For You. Oh my god. The minute I heard the song, I loved it. And people do say that it's about Jesy, but, like, nah. Because she's in it, so I'm like, nah. But, like, I do love this. I'm not being funny, I haven't listened to this ages, because I'm obviously a bit obsessed with the new stuff between us. So I haven't, but I do love this a lot, this song. It was my favourite until Between Us came out. Number 2 is Gloves Up, which, this is a tune, and I'm not being funny, I am sad that they didn't make it a bit longer. Why they didn't, like, add in, like, the, like, what's the word, but, like, chorus and then that bit and then another chorus, I don't know, they just needed more. It needed to be a bit longer, and then the main like, I got my eye on the prize, Jade needed to belt that. She actually did. I loved the fact that Lee did. They gave, like, Lee slayed this album a lot. She really did. So I didn't care because she, like, belted it, but I just needed an extra bit because it was such a good song that it ended so quickly. I needed Jade to do it too, but still, love it. Number 3 is Confetti, because I love that as well. From the sky drop like confetti. Oh, I sing that a lot. 4, Sweet Melody, obviously. Number 5 is Rendezvous, another sexy song. I love it. Breathe is number 6, which I had to put because Breathe is another one of them that's, like, gives me the feels, and I've got a soft spot for it. I really love that song. It's just really cute, and their vocals are brilliant in that. 7 is Happiness. Which is funny because, like I said, I loved that when it first came out, but when you listen to all the others, it changes then, and then you're like, ugh. But yeah, Happiness is number 7. 8 is If You Want My Love. Oh, we tune. Who wrote this one? I forgot. Oh, Camille wrote this. Of course she did. Queen only. I forgot. I was like, someone wrote this. Camille did. Yeah. If you want. Oh God. Every time it comes in, it's sick and tired of your same mistake. Oh, yes, love it. Number 9, Nothing But My Feelings. Oh yeah, booty call song. I sang it. 10 is Breakup Song. Not a Pop Song is 11, which was so funny that they, like, referenced Simon Cowell in that. I was like, what's the same me? That made me laugh. And then 12 is My Love Won't Let You Down. We love another ballad. And I put number 13, like the last one, as Holiday. Don't ask me why, because I do love that song and I loved it when it came out, but then I don't know, when you hear the rest of the songs you then change your mind, and Holiday ended up just being at the bottom, but I still love it. I do. I remember getting attacked. Oh my god, no, I'm not being funny. I remember getting attacked by Lee's verse in Holiday, where the bit where she was like, lay you down, like lay you, the echo. Wow, loved that. And then also, not a pop song, Jesy's verse, her voice. Okay, but like, I have to do it, but like that bit in that song, when I first heard it, I was like, woo! I could not get over it. So I was like, get it, girl. But like, yeah. Get it, girl. Woo! Oh my god! I can't. That bit, I was like, shit, Jesy, get it, girl. Like, oh, that, her voice in that, I loved it a lot. So yes, that was really good. But yeah, that attacked me a lot. But yeah, what else can I say about like Confetti and stuff? Although, because I haven't been on the tour yet, because I'm going to that this year now. I mean, we know sort of why they didn't. I mean, we all thought COVID, thanks for that. But then they announced that, oh my god, so bloody Lee and Perry having babies. Oh my god. I think I hyperventilated when I found out about that. I mean, Leanne posted it first and we were like, holy shit. Like, we couldn't get over it. We were like, oh, but then Blue Perry's like, yeah, me too. And then we were like, wait, what? I did not expect it. I didn't expect one of them to be pregnant. And then they say, like, Perry is as well. I mean, that's sort of how it happened for them. And they were like, oh, wait, what? So you are as well? But, oh god, I wasn't bothered. I was like, so many mini mixers, like, little babies. I can't wait. So, and then, God, Leanne had twins. I was shook and a half. I actually was. When she announced that, when she put that picture up, I was like, I was in the car. We'd been out, and I was like, holy shit! I think I screamed at the back, and my parents were like, "You're right." And I was like, Leanne's had twins. I couldn't get over it. And not being funny, in the end, I was like, that makes sense because her bump was huge. I was like, she's massive. That 2021 was it? It was last year, wasn't it? But like that year, bloody hell, it's 2022, bloody hell. But that year, because like there were so many people that I love, like that I watch, or Little Mix, that had babies, because like both of them had a baby, because obviously Perry had Axel, little baby Axel, so cute, and then she's had the twins, Leanne had the twins, but then also bloody Zoe Sugg, love Zoe so much, had Ottilie, and I was like, stop getting pregnant, because it's making me jealous. I mean, not that I want it, because but like, that would be a struggle, but I'm just like, whoa, like, stop. I mean, we all know what you're getting up to during lockdown, but like, don't need to flaunt it in my face now, but still. And they're all born in the same month. It's hilarious, because I can't believe as well that Perry and Leanne had them both, because Perry had Axel early. He came early, did he not? He came after, I can't remember the dates. Leanne had the twins first in August, and then Perry had Axel a little bit late, a few days after, and then bloody Zoe had Ottilie at the end of August, and I was like, what is going on? They're all gonna have their birthdays at the same time. Wow, can't. And finally, we're gonna talk about Between Us, the anniversary album that they released last year, so like sort of recently, really, because of, yeah, again, it was November, and oh god, this album, I honestly love it. It's like the first one that they did as a trio. Now, not being funny, when they announced it, I did get excited because I did think that they were covering the songs. Not in the way of like, Jessy's not here no more, we need to redo him. Not like that. I thought even with her, they would have done it. Like, so because it's like an anniversary, let's re-record them. I thought that would be really cool. It turned out it wasn't. And I was a bit disappointed, but I suppose that wasn't the idea anyway, so I don't know why I instantly thought that. But anyways, I still don't care. It's just hard with that album because I tend to only listen to like the last 5 songs, the new ones. I don't mind that it was a anniversary and like greatest hits album where they just basically combined like all. So then you've got like all the good songs on one album, and so I don't mind it, but I do wish we had more songs of like trio mix. I call them, because honestly, those 5 songs were everything. I think if I'm gonna rank them, it's just the 5, yeah. So what have I wrote? 10-year anniversary, yes. Only 5 new songs, and as a trio, yeah, I thought sad that there was only 5, but still love them, yeah. And then faves off the bat between us. Okay, cut you off. And Love Sweet Love. So obviously there's only 5, and I was picking 3. But yeah, Love Sweet Love was the first one that they did as a trio. Honestly, that was iconic. Like the video for that as well, like queens, and of course they're all like pregnant. Actually, that's a lie. I'm totally lying there, girl, because they released Confetti. Oh my god, that was hilarious. They released Confetti as a trio with Sawini, and yet again, why? I don't know, but like still. And they were pregnant during it, and we had no idea, and I was like, what the fuck? And they dressed up as men as well. Holy shit, that was so good and hilarious at the same time. That was a really good video, I liked that. Then they did Heartbreak Anthem. Like, hello, this ain't a heart, but that is a tune. I mean, Anthem is in the name, like, yes. With bloody Galantis and David Guetta. Everything. I love them as well. And what else did they do? Oh, they did Kiss My Uh-Oh with Man Marie. Queen only. And yeah, so, no, I feel like that Confetti was the only one, though, that they were not, like, they didn't announce that they were pregnant, but they were pregnant. And then obviously the others. But yeah, Love Sweet Love was like their first song, like single as a 3, just Little Mix, yeah. And it was so good. I loved it. So of course that was like my favourite for a while, because it's the only one you know, so it's the only one that you love for a bit. So I was like, yeah, I loved it. Yeah, again, and I love it as well, because it's all, they talk about sex a lot. This one was more about loving yourself in that way, and I was like, steady on, and like they all, honestly, they all came through, and I wasn't sure about how I would feel about just their 3 vocals. You could know, because it's like difficult to know once somebody leaves. They sound incredible, the 3 of them. I don't know what if I want to say I prefer it, but like I probably shouldn't say that, but I kind of do a little bit, because Jade's verse was so good. Oh well, not just Jade's bit, but like the what I do should have please just know. I love that, and like the lyrics during that, whoa, it's everything. And they were goddesses, like, and even pregnant. Wow, they just looked great. So yes, my favourites. So I'll do my ranking order for that, because there's obviously only 5 songs, and the album is No, Between Us, Love Sweet Love, Cut You Off, and Trash. And I always remember as well, Cut You Off and Trash were like, they did teasers of them on TikTok before it came out. So it was like the How Did We Get Here used to be so good. Like, it's all over TikTok now. I mean, like, people still use it. So I was excited for that. But honestly, hands down, my favourite song is Between Us. And I now feel like it is my favourite song ever, like, of Little Mix, because it's the cutest song ever. Like, when they were releasing, I remember they did a snippet, actually, like, they always do it for the new era. They did, like, a thing on Twitter and Instagram and stuff of, like, each era. So they did, like, obviously DNA, and they did the songs, and then it went into so they did Confetti for that, and then they went into this new era with, and then it was the like sorry, that sounded hideous, but it was like the like of Between Us, and I was instant like, holy shit, what is that? Because it sounds amazing, like their vocals and voices, oh my god, I could not wait to hear it. And I waited and waited and waited, because it was like literally the last minute that they released Between Us. Oh my god, it was so good. Like, I honestly love that song so much. Playing it on my stereo is just, I'm just sat in a moment, it's a moment, honestly. I'm just sat there having the time of life, because it's just so cute. I'm going to play it because I have to, and it is probably my most played song at the moment, because I honestly love this song. It's just cute. They're not talking about boys or sex or love. They're talking about each other, and I like, oh, and when they did it on Graham Norton as well. Oh my god, no, Lee's verse. Stop. Oh, with every victory, yeah, we got synergy. Starting from here and now. They sound incredible. I can't. Woo! I'm having a moment. I can't. Honestly, it hits me. It hits me here in the heart. I love this song. This is the new Always Be Together. It actually is. Oh my god, the next verse though, like referencing all the songs, that was brilliant. Like, remember the day when we finally found our wings. Changed our life, gave us power to do anything. I was attacked by that. I loved it so much. We bounced back every track. All these sweet melodies. Oh, don't. I can't with that song. I have cried a few times during that, listening to that, because like, it's emotional. And then they sang it on bloody Graham Norton and were crying, and then they announced that they were leaving. Like, they were splitting up. Well, they're not. It's a break. Yes. I don't want them to. They're not even done it yet, and I already want them to be back together. It's like, don't do it. I'm gonna miss them so much. I really am. Hold on, I forgot to carry on the songs of my ranking order. I just talked about Between Us and then that was it. So that's the only one. Like, psych. So Between Us is my favourite. Then it's Cut You Off. That is such a different sound, but I love it. I actually do, and it is a bit shady, but I'm not going into that. Then number 3 is Trash. I also love that too, and I think Mabel wrote that, so get it, girl. Number 4 is Love Sweet Love, which is like, I don't know, like literally that was my favourite to begin with, and now it's number 4. I don't know. And then I've put No as 5, but honestly, I could not rank it because I love all of them. I actually do. Like, I honestly love all of them so much. I have moments like No is a tune, and they just and that the video for that was brilliant too. I loved that video as well. But like overall, Between Us is just everything to me. I honestly love that song. I feel like it knocks everything else out of the water, and it is now my official favourite song because it's just so cute. I always wanted to get a tattoo of lyrics on my arm from Always Be Together. It's Jade's verse when she's like, and just stand high and tall, make sure you give your all. I wanted that tattooed, like, in quotes and, like, with music notes on my arm. But, like, I'm tempted to, like, get something from Between Us now because it's, honestly, it's so cute. Like, here's my vow from here and now, nothing comes between us. Oh, should I get that too? I kind of want to do it because it's just, I actually can't. They're so cute. I'm going to miss them. I actually am. Alright, so the last little bit that I'm going to do, I've already rambled on way too much about Little Mix, and you're probably sick of it. I was going to split them into 2 videos, but I didn't want to. I'm going to do it, but it's probably going to be like an hour and a half. I'm sorry about that. But, I mean, it's literally nearly 2 hours long, so, like, I have no idea how long this will be, so I'm really sorry. But the last little bit I'm going to do is just ranking the albums as a whole. So doing what I want to do. So obviously we went through them. So it's DNA, you know, DNA Salute, Get Weird, Glory Days. Yeah. So what I have done is, like I said, bloody love Glory Days. So that is hands down my favourite album. I love that album a lot. My second favourite album is Ellen 5. I really love that. Number 3 is Confetti, because I just loved the sound of it. I just loved the songs. 4 is Salute. Number 5 is DNA, because like I said, it was such a good first album for them. Number 6 is Get Weird. and number 7 is Between Us. I've only done that because of the fact that it was quite limited and it was repeat songs and there was only 5 new ones. So I just sort of did it like that, but I still love it. But yes, that is what I've done, and honestly, I've loved doing this. It's just that it's now so long, like I've literally rambled for like 2 hours. Oh dear. So yes, to be honest, there is probably a lot more that I could still talk about Little Mix, because there always is. The other thing I will mention though is the fact that they won the Brits for the best like British group, was it? Oh my god, that was everything. I was so happy because I've been wanting them to win it for a few years, and they weren't, and then they did this time, and I was like, yay! And they all looked so good, like Leanne and Perry pregnant, wow. Just, and the speech, oh, it was just, honestly, it was brilliant. I loved it. I just feel like there's nothing else I can say now, because I feel like I've tried to say everything, but there'll probably be something I'll have forgot to say, and I'll be like, fucking hell, girl, because I've literally talked for like 2 hours, and I can't do that. It's craziness. But anyways, that is everything that I'm going to talk about in my video. I've needed to talk about Little Mix, so now I have. I don't know, it may end up being in 2 parts. I don't know. I don't like having such long videos, so I split them. But like, even splitting them, they'll still be long. They'll be like 2 hours. They'll be still like 50 minutes long, so there's no point. So I just hope that you're all set, or that you were all set to. If you're here now watching the end, thanks. Thanks so much, and please comment and tell me that you did, because it must mean you're quite dedicated, so thanks for that. So yes, I really hope that you enjoyed it. Obviously give me a big fat thumbs up if you did. Also let me know in the comments if you love Little Mix as much as me, and just let me know things of like what I've said, you know, favourite moments from tours, or like what your favourite songs are. I'd love to hear it, because they're everything to me. They actually are. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in my very next video.